a warning. A Palestinian state would be a new terrorist threat to Israel. This comes as a growing number of countries are recognizing a Palestinian state. That issue is going to dominate United Nations General Assembly meeting this week. CBN News Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl takes a look at the announcements and the Israeli response.
The UK led the way on Sunday, recognizing a Palestinian state, followed by Canada, Australia, and Portugal.
In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state.
Unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state and the situation in Gaza are expected to dominate this week's UN General Assembly. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there will not be a Palestinian state in the West Bank.
At the UN, I will present the truth. This is Israel's truth, but it is the objective truth in our righteous struggle against the forces of evil and our vision for real peace, peace from strength.
Netanyahu said the recognition delivers one message.
I have a clear message to those leaders who recognize the Palestinian state after the terrible massacre of October 7th. You are giving a huge price to terrorism, and I have another message for you. It will not happen. There will be no Palestinian state west of the Jordan.
Despite the argument that the decision would sideline Hamas and bring peace, Hamas took credit for the recognition, saying it's because of their October 7th invasion and massacre of Israelis. Palestinians in Ramallah welcomed the decision and made their ultimate goal clear.
We also hope to see a complete Palestinian state from the sea to the river.
Israeli legal expert Eugene Kontorovich says supporters can say what they want, but a Palestinian state doesn't exist.
They have complete independence, autonomy. Israel's not controlling their lives. So what would a state give them that they don't have now? The ability to buy weapons on the international market and the ability to open their borders and bring in jihadis from around the world. So imagine October 7th, except this time, instead of machine guns and gliders, they have airplanes and artillery and millions of people who come to join them on jihad from around the world.
Before the death of Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens was doing deep dives on Bridget Macron and Emmanuel. She was basically saying that Bridget was a man, that she was born a man, and that she is a PDA file because she was grooming Emmanuel when he was in school. She also was stating that their family is full of incest, that they're just messing around with one another. I'm against all that. If all that is true, I'm against all that. But one thing I noticed about Candace, she pick and choose who she wants to talk about. For whatever reason, she's not looking for truth. She's just looking for conversation and confusion. She wants to keep people confused. She wants people to look in the direction that she wants them to be looking in. Because if you're about truth as far as what people are doing, why did she never do a deep dive on the Catholic Church? All those priests who was messing around with those little boys, and the Pope never did anything about it. Those priests never served jail time. Why haven't she did a deep dive on that and spoke against how this is damaging these little boys for the rest of their lives? How they're taking these priests from one church and putting them in another church. Where's her deep dive investigation on that? And then when she's talking about being groomed, why haven't she spoke against Andrew Tate and his brother? Because they were speaking about being with underage girls. So you're okay on that end when they're doing it, but then you go all the way to France and complain about what they're doing. All of it is wrong. So all of it should be talked about if you're going to talk about it. But like I said, I noticed with Candace Owens, she only wants you to look in the direction she's about causing confusion. She talks about how the Jewish people are persecuting Palestine, but she never talks about how the radical Islam is persecuting Christians. So if persecution is wrong, it should be wrong all over, all around. But she never speaks about that. And if you're going to tell somebody something, tell them the whole story. If you're going to talk about what the Jewish people are doing to the Palestine people, speak about what happened on October the 7th. Speak about them coming across their borders, attacking them. Speak about how the radical Islam people are killing babies, not just not just with Israel, but with Christians all over the world. They're killing Christians. They're persecuting Christians. Christians are living their lives. Where's the documentary on that? You love posting Christ as king, but you never want to talk about what's going on with his kingdom. You never want to point to who is killing his kingdom, who is attacking his kingdom. You don't do that. When you look at everything you're doing, it seems like you're playing for the other team. I don't want to be on the right side of history. I want to be on the right side of God because I know God will never lose. Being on the side of God will make you a winner all the time. I'm not political. Like I said, Jesus is my King, my Lord, and my Savior. God is my Father. As a Christian, that's where I stand, on the side of Christ. But when you want everybody to be a Christian, a Catholic, but you know what I'm saying, you just point, that's the only thing you're trying to push. So everything that pushed against that or don't line up with that, you point it out as being evil. But true evil in the world, you don't say anything about it. And then you have all these people following you, and you're not seeing the damage that you're actually doing to other human beings. That's sick and sad.